Welcome into the Bojangles Countdown to Tip-Off with Lendl Suggs. I'm Chris Hemeyer. Yes, we are coming to you from Gore Arena, but we're here to talk about the Junction City Jam as the Campbell Fighting Campbell men's basketball team heads to Ogden, Utah to play 2 games in the next 3 days, 2,100 miles away from Bowie's Creek. And Lendl, it's going to be a big test.
Yeah, it's going to be a big test, especially for the way that the rest of the non-conference schedule plays out. There's so many games to be played, and a lot of them are on that side of the country. So the first real test of mid-mountain time, West Coast time for this Campbell men's basketball team.
Yeah, you're going to have to stay up late tonight. 10 o'clock Eastern time is when the game will be played tonight. It'll be on ESPN Plus. And look, we don't blame you. If you're not too familiar with Weber State, they are one of the more consistent and powerful mid-majors on that side of the country. They are a team that has made it to the NCAA tournament 16 times. They've beaten North Carolina in the NCAA tournament. They've beaten Michigan State in the NCAA tournament. These things happened 20 years ago, but it is a proud program. They're 1-3, but they have played some close games this year.
Yeah, well, it's a program with a lot of tradition and history. And as we know of anything, when you have a program that has tradition and history, you're going up against that as well. And so Weber State's going to be a really, really big test for this Campbell squad just to see where they rank kind of in the mid-major level of things right now in the country.
Weber State is 1-3. They have lost to 2 very good mid-majors, including Utah State is a team that is predicted to win their conference, but against Utah, the University of Utah, one of the big schools in their state, they lost by just 4. That brings us to the Campbell Fighting Camels, 2-2 on the season. Of course, there's a lot of excitement, Lendl, around this team with head coach John Andrzejek, but that excitement and that hype, it's been lived up to. Campbell is a team that was in the game with top 25 ranked Wisconsin until the final 8 minutes, and they played West Virginia out of the Big 12 down to the wire. It was a 4-point game with 90 seconds to go. They have proven that they can run with the big boys.
Absolutely, and I think the game that gives you the most excitement is the Western Michigan game, where you watch them go toe-to-toe with kind of an upper mid-major team, and so the team out of the MAC. And so you really get to see where the offense lives. I think a lot of people are excited to see DJ Smith. Of course, Jeremiah Johnson is really, really good. And so you have all the pieces that are there, and they are coming together for this Campbell squad.
We talked to Campbell head coach John Andrzejek yesterday from Ogden, Utah, about his thoughts on just that, the team through 4 games and what it's going to take to be a really good Weber State team tonight. All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. And first off, how was the 2,150-mile trip from Bowie's Creek to Ogden, Utah?
You know, not that bad. I mean, we got in about midnight Mountain Time, which is about 2 a.m. back in the creek, and got right to sleep. And then we had them sleep in this morning, and now we're about to go have a practice and get ready for these guys.
We will talk about the elevation in a few minutes, but you've been a part of a lot of teams that have had to go all over the country. How do you prepare your team? What do you do to give them the best chance, the best advantage when they have to go so far away from home?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I think the biggest thing is attitude. Like if you go into these road trips and the travel and you're just like drainy about it and down about it, it'll affect your play. Like it affects the whole vibes of everybody. So it's important to me that we have a good positive outlook on it. And, you know, it's a great opportunity to go play somebody outside of our backyard that we haven't seen before. You know, so that's a general approach. But to be honest, it's just basketball, man. Like it's kind of the same. It's the same if you play them at home. It's the same if you drive 30 minutes, play somebody on the road, or if you go on the other side of the country. Like the same things are going to be important. You got to take care of the ball on the road. You got to rebound. You got to work your butt off to defend. And if you do those things, then it can come down to, you know, do you make some shots or not?
You are in Ogden, Utah, about 30 miles to the north of Salt Lake City, but you're 5,000 feet above sea level. That's about the same as Denver. They brag about being the mile-high city. So a mile high, how does that usually affect basketball teams, and what, if anything, can you do to get prepared for the altitude?
Yeah, it's a great coaching dilemma. I mean, we went through it a lot when I was coaching at University of San Francisco or at Washington State, and we would play teams like BYU and Colorado and Utah. And there's different schools of thought on like, do you just ignore it? Do you pretend it's not a deal? Do you kind of meet it head on and talk about it? And I lean more toward talking about it. So I mentioned it to the team and just said, hey, you will get tired 10% quicker than you normally would. And so, I just need their honesty. Like, give me a sign when you need a quick breather. We'll probably play guys for slightly shorter stints than normal. So if a guy would normally go for 7 minutes straight, maybe he only goes for six tomorrow, or 5.5 or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's still hoops, and it's if you win or lose these games, it's the elevation is never the number one factor. If Weber beats us tomorrow, it's going to be because they play a little harder, or they run their stuff better, or whatever it may be. Our communication needs to be better. But it can be worth a point or two. And so we got to make sure we're playing really hard. We got to make sure we're running back transition D. They play fast. They push it up the floor, long throw aheads, trying to get to the rim. So we got to do a good job with that. But no, we kind of address it head on and just say, hey, it'll be slightly shorter stints. But what you cannot do is try to compensate for the elevation by only going 90% for certain possessions. You got to go as hard as you can, and then trust us to get you quick little breathers.
Even some good hoops heads out here on the East Coast might not know about Weber State out of the Big Sky Conference, but boy, do they have quite a history. 16 NCAA appearances. They also have been a part of two of the biggest upsets in NCAA history. They took down third-seeded Michigan State back in 1995, third-seeded North Carolina. Some might remember from that around these parts back in 1999. Of course, Damian Lillard played there his entire career, all 4 years from 08-09 to 2011-12. That's quite a tradition, and that's a darn good West Coast mid-major program, isn't it?
No, no doubt. They're used to having success. Their coach has been here for a long time, does a good job. His predecessor did a great job too. And they had another NBA player real recently. Dylan Jones stayed for all 4 years. He's a really good player that we played when I was coaching up at Washington State. And so they got a cool little deal here where I think their alumni are very proud to have gone here. I think there's a feeling of, sort of staying through the process, and they've been slightly more immune to the transfer epidemic than maybe a lot of other places. So give them their credit. I mean, it's going to be a hard game tomorrow. Anywhere you look, it's a evenly matched 50-50 type game. They're probably favored by a point or something. So we'll see who can play better.
I was going to ask you the follow-up you led into it. What does this year's edition of the Weber State Wildcats look like?
Yeah, they're good. They play really good team basketball. I think they're hard to guard. Brady Hennig is a tough cover. He can shoot it. He can drive it. The kid number 8 is a really good shooter. That you gotta find. He's I want to say he's from Finland. Viljami. I'm not even gonna try it, but he's a good player. Jace Whiting, I'm familiar with. We played him a little bit when he was up at Boise State. And then their bigs go hard. Goma's a good player. Suarez, good player. Burse had a lot of success at Idaho. And then they bring a guy named David Hansen off the bench that can really, really shoot the three. He's a tough cover. So they do a good job. Their front court is maybe a hair undersized, but they go hard. They really rebound. They fight hard for post position. They're super physical. Their perimeter players are got a good balance between being able to shoot and get in the lane. And then they play a physical style of defense. They've changed defenses a little bit against Utah. They switched a ton 1 through 5, but against Utah State and oh man, against Utah State and against Irvine, they're mostly playing drop and going under stuff. So I think we'll probably see a mix of both. We'll be ready for both. But they're a good team. They very well should have won that Utah game. They lost in overtime. They had a lead down the stretch. Utah State, they hung in. Utah State's really good. They battled to the end, and then they played a really good Irvine team on the road as well. So it's their first D1 game at home. I'm sure they'll be stoked for it. I'm sure they'll be ready to go, but the Camels will be as well.
Yesterday, a full travel day, of course. So not like you had the day off, but you've been playing pretty much every 3 days or so since the beginning of the season. What was it like nearly having a week between games here?
Yeah, it was good. I gave him an extra off day than we normally would. I just thought we kind of needed. We had gone 3 or 4 straight. We had an exhibition midweek right into the first game at Wisconsin. Then you're going to West Virginia. You come back home. So I thought we needed a little more time off, more mentally than physically. But then since then, it's been 2 or 3 hard days of just trying to dial in on Weber, understand how they're going to try to play us on both sides of the ball, and try to correct things that we got to get better at. It's still a long season. Like, we got to stay focused on process over result, doing the right things, having a great attitude, defend, rebound, take care of the ball, and just kind of see where the chips fall.
Yeah, it's 4 games in, and I know at times it doesn't feel like this, but your team at 2-2, 4 games in. What do you like about your team at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think they're competitive. I mean, I think they're up for it. I think they really enjoy playing and enjoy being around each other. It's a good group to coach. It really is. Like, I don't have any complaints there. We're a little we don't have a huge roster. I mean, we only got 13 or so guys right now. Once Amiri Stewart's waived and didn't go through. So but there's some good things that come with that. Like, I think it's a group that isn't really looking over their shoulder. They're kind of comfortable with their roles, their playing time. I think we've gotten into a little bit of a rhythm with our substitution patterns and things. And now it's about, we just got to make those incremental improvements to be able to win some big games like this against a strong mid-major program. I mean, I think they're going to be very similar to a lot of teams we'll see in the CAA. So in that way, it's a good test for us.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for giving us some time from Utah, and best of luck in the game.
No, thank you. Roll Holmes.
Lendl, you mentioned it. There are so many new pieces to this team, but they've come together so well, and this is an exciting team. And right now, they're a deep team when you're talking about Campbell.
Absolutely. I think the really, really good thing about this Campbell men's basketball team is their ability to shoot the three-pointer and spread the floor. We haven't really got to see that with Campbell men's basketball, the ability to kind of spread the floor, and then that opens things up inside the painted area or inside 10 feet within the rim. And so the ability of DJ Smith to get an outside shot, or for them to crash down low and then be able to kick it out and trust someone to shoot it, like a Tassos Cook or a Cam Gregory of that nature, it really makes this team exciting to watch.
We'll see what happens. As you heard Coach talk about, he talked about the high elevation out here being so far away from Bowie's Creek. It's a lot, but not on these guys. Here's a couple of player features to get you to know more about our Campbell team.
My name is Cameron Gregory. I'm from Accokeek, Maryland. This is my second year at Campbell. I would say I'm just a really smart player, can get everybody involved while also staying aggressive and looking for my shot. I can get downhill, just all-around player. I like Campbell because there's awesome academics here. I really feel like I'm challenging myself in the classroom. Everybody here is just really nice. Created a lot of new friends here. It's an infectious feeling, like just everybody's good people. This new team, I feel like we're a lot more athletic, just guys that can get up and down the floor, which is how I like to play. Compliments me as a player. And coach is just a proven winner. Does everything he can to win, whether it's coaching and getting us prepared mentally, physically. Great coach. Love him. I'm really excited for our schedule. I think that we would take it to a lot of these teams. Being looked at as an underdog, that's a position that I like to be in. It's a position that I've been in my whole life. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we're geared up. It means a lot to see all the people come out and support, get a lot of energy from those people. When those games were packed, everybody on the team was definitely locked in and feeling it. So hopefully we can get the same thing again this year, because that really gives us a boost.
My name is Christopher Fields Jr. I'm from Pittsburgh, Virginia. I'm a slasher that can pass the balls, dribble. I can shoot when needed. I wouldn't really call myself a shooter. I would call myself just a scorer. But yeah, I can rebound. I'm pretty much a Swiss Army knife. That's what Munir called me the other day. I don't really count working out on my game like as off like free time. Like, I feel like that's just me like really just getting better at my craft. So I nap and game a lot. So outside of when I'm of course working on my game. It just seemed like a place with a lot of great opportunities, especially with, the season we're playing this year. I feel like I got a chance to put, I guess, the quote-unquote war on notice with just seeing what I can do. And I feel like this was a great opportunity for me to do that. I love everything about the coaching staff. They really want to see me do well, and I feel like I've felt that energy since I was on my visit before I even committed. And a lot of coaching staffs don't really give you that genuine feeling and compassion. I'm grateful for that. I said this the other day after my post-game interview. I just like how everybody just doesn't care who gets the shine, who gets the glory. We just want to win, and off the court feels like a brotherhood. Genuine connections all over the place. Yeah.
The tournament for Campbell starts tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern time. This Campbell team will take on Weber State, and then UT Arlington is the opponent with a day of rest on Friday. That is a 4 o'clock Eastern time game. Again, another big test for this Campbell team. They will take a little bit of a weekend break. Then next week, they take on Wake Forest, and the week after that, they go to Penn State. So no rest for the weary.
Yeah, no rest for the weary. And these are the games really where you really want to tune in to see what this Campbell men's basketball team is made of. Now, of course, you have the quote-unquote 6 bye games of the year, but these games here are really where Campbell can tool up and find out against equal-level competition what this men's basketball team really, really looks like, and I'm excited for this week of competition.
Campbell and Weber State tonight, coming up in just minutes on ESPN+. Enjoy the game.